Gotta love when equipment doesn't work, right? I'm now in the basket. The place I rented the lift from is closed. And I have no power in the basket and I can't get back. Wonderful. Whole day wasted. They better let me have the lift for longer or rent me a different lift or get me another lift tomorrow. Because I've wasted a whole, used it for a few minutes and that's it. Lovely. Okay, so it is still April, so part of the next barn video will be done at the end of April, and had something very, very unnerving happen with the 61-foot lift. So it's not here right now. Instead, I have a 66-foot lift. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the other video, but I had when I first got it, there was one time where I pushed the emergency stop button, or I pulled up the emergency stop button, and it didn't beep, and it wouldn't turn on. And I pushed the emergency stop button back down and pulled it back up, and it worked fine. And then Friday, I got stuck at 20-foot elevation extension, 15-foot, 10-foot elevation, 20-foot extension, and couldn't get down. And so the mechanic had to come and get me down, and he thought he fixed it. And then Sunday, I'm working. The lit sack where I rented it was closed. So I got stuck. I called this thing, and thankfully I had rental emergency number. So I called them. I was able to get off onto the second floor up there, right up there, and get down. And there was no control over the lift in the basket or at the base. No control at all. And it wouldn't even shut off. So I turned the key to off, it wouldn't shut off. I pushed the emergency stop button, both basket and base, nothing happened. And so I called them, so the guy called me back, and just as he called me back, it ran rough and shut off. And so they just got here, about half an hour ago, they arrived with a 66-foot lift, which I'm going to have for a little bit longer because I lost work Sunday and I was also stuck twice. So they're giving me extra time with this one, and this one is 66 feet long. It has a diagonal reach of 57 feet, so it should reach all the way back up there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do the lower part here, get this all done, and then I'll go up and see it and get the tarp down, 26 by 39 foot tarp, and put that down, and then we'll go up higher and see if I can do that work. If it's acting weird at that height, because this has a couple problems too. The basket's not auto leveling, so yeah, they have a lot of broken machinery apparently. So we're going to do that, but this one's newer. This one looks nicer. The other one was back when Skyjack were orange and cream. Now they're gray and red. So this one hopefully will do the job and won't have any problems with me stuck. If not, I have to call a lit sack and get the mechanic over here. Fun. So let's get back to work. Okay, so here's the progress for now. We got all those rafters over there. We got all that done. We got all this all swept off. Got some more of those. Just about broke my wrist. Can't see anything, but one of those. Moved one rafter, and one rafter came at me. And instead of like a dumb, instead of blocking it with my gloved hand, I did a martial arts block with my wrist and got the rafter on my wrist. It's not broken, thankfully. So next I gotta go to work on that. So we got most of this done. I gotta go to work on that and get all this stuff taken care of below. Okay, so this is the end of work on Monday. Tuesday we got 70% chance of rain, and then Wednesday it's supposed to rain. So there's the 26 by 39 foot tarp on a bunch of the structure. We got it on the upper part there, and then we got it over this, and that'll at least help keep some water out of there. Still gonna get water in the back, but that'll keep some of the water out. See, it's fastened up there. So yeah, that entire wall up there has got to be taken down, and the ceiling's got to be taken down. I wanted to just fix the ceiling, but it's been the collapse of the barn. Everything up there is loose and it's falling apart, so I just got to replace it. So it's gonna just take out all those 2x4s and replace it. But hopefully this lift will reach up to that, and I can get that taken care of. I don't know if it will or not. This one has some issues, and it's swaying quite a bit when I was up there. I think it was a 61 foot was, so it seems to act up more the longer it runs. So hopefully not sitting for a couple of days, it will be working better. So that's it so far. I've gotten a lot of stuff down. Unfortunately, that jack post came loose. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it's loose at the bottom too. I don't know if the screws came out of the floorboards or not, or if the screws broke or something, because a lot of stuff has been hitting that jack post. So I don't know what happened there, but it came off. So after I get all this torn off, I'm going to try and see if this basket will lift that up a little bit and put the jack post underneath it. So we'll see what happens. It's going to take a lot of work, but hopefully I can get it done. I don't know. Okay, so it's April 30th, and I'm definitely have to rent another lift for the back part, because they called today and they want their lift back. They had me have it for a couple extra days because the other one broke down, so I couldn't do all the work. But it doesn't matter that I was stopped by weather 2 days because it was high winds and raining on day before yesterday, and it was pouring all yesterday. But the tarp worked. You can see this dry section there. So I'm taking the tarp off now, and I'm going to finish tearing apart the roof. I don't know if I'll get the floor done, but I can reach the floor from the first floor. So I will be tearing off the sheeter shakes here and getting those taken care of, and that might be it for today. We'll see what happens. Alright, it is now it's Sunday, I think May 2nd or May 3rd. So let's take a look, take a few steps back and look at the barn. There is something very definitely missing here, and that is this part of the roof. The only part left is up there. Everything else has been taken apart. There's the boards from the roof. Here's some rafters right here. There's a rafter right there. There's a rafter over there. These are all the boards that were across the rafters. There's 2 more rafters here. But there's the floor. I have done everything that I need to do with the lift. And that includes, if you remember correctly, back when the barn was back together, and I mentioned it a few times here, there were some dressers upstairs. Well, there's the dressers right there. Unfortunately, there's some very nice dressers up here, one of which may have seemed to have some cherry. That one, and that's destroyed. That one's destroyed. That one's destroyed. But we got that out. My miter saw is underneath there, but I can get that out later. But we have the tarp on the barn, off the barn. And yeah, so there's the height of bed. So roof is torn apart. That part is done. The next part will be tearing apart that part of the roof, which I got to run a bigger lift, which is probably not going to be this in May. I got to pay down my credit cards, but and I think I have to pay $600 to a lawyer for my pistol permit case, but it will be in June that I can rent the other lift and finish the roof and put the tarp on. Having some problems with the tarp staying. I had to put more wood up there to keep it down. It keeps blowing. Now I got to secure the bottom part of it and that stuff. So we're working on it. We're almost done with the first part. It'll be a couple months before we're completely done with the first part. Alright, here's the barn as it looks now. Roof removed. I'm going to remove the full, take care of the floor without the lift. Don't need the lift to do that. Got the dressers there. I got the tarp secured over there. It's secured over there. It's secured there. I got it secured up there as well. Multiple places. It's secured up there, over there, over there. So that should keep it pretty dry. After I get down out of the lift, I got to secure it over here. And then we are done for today. Really sad that that dresser got ruined, but you can see there, somebody ruined it already. I mean, why would they? I can understand doing that to front legs, to back legs, because they're against the wall. But the front legs, what the heck were they doing that they cut that? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, the dresser's junk now. So is every other dresser that was in here. So yeah, we got quite a bit of work done in May. And April through May, I'll get more done. And if somebody donates to the GoFundMe so I can pay off credit cards and do that, that would be great. But unfortunately, with having to take care of some other things and some other bills, I did not have enough to do it anymore this month. So I don't know. After I get the biggest thing is getting the bad stuff demolished, and then I'm gonna screw 2x4s to there, bring them out to here, and then attach them over there as well, and make like a raised up area where I have a workplace underneath this tarp, and be able to do work underneath once I get all the junk out of here, which there's a lot of junk to get rid of. But we'll be working on that through May. I'll always be working on that, putting stuff in the garbage, getting things out of here, and that sort of stuff. So that's going to be a constant thing, throwing things in the garbage. I already got like a trash bin over there. You can see it's full of nasty old cardboard that's not recyclable anymore. Partially biodegradable, partially degrading, and we'll get rid of stuff slowly from the barn and continue to move on. So there'll be constant work being done, but I probably won't be showing all of it on camera. I'll just show the results on camera. Alright, so that's it for this clip. Will probably be something else later on. Okay, so I am in the barn right now, and it is pouring rain. So we're going to take a look and see how the tarp is doing, keeping things dry. Okay, here's our post that's for some reason loose. Let's go over here. There's a generator underneath there. See, all this is all dry here. And there's a little bit of wetness there. There's some dripping there. We got water coming in up there. I'm not sure. Oh, I know why. That's from where the tarps are screwed, where there's a hole in the tarp where it's screwed through. That's not good. So that's where that water is coming from. But it's considerably reducing the amount of water. I mean, all this stuff here is dry. That's dry over there. Oh, that one dresser. I didn't get that one dresser down. I can get that down from here. But yeah, I'm thinking about, if I have enough money, I got to call a place to see. I'm thinking about getting a smaller dumpster and just getting some of the stuff, some of the debris out of here, and then I can better figure things out. Just renting one dumpster every once in a while, like one smaller dumpster a month, getting rid of it, getting a load out, and then organizing it, and then getting it set up so I can get another dumpster out. I can use one dumpster to get rid of the stuff out in the yard, and then I can just pile stuff up and get things organized here and try to go through it and figure out what goes in household, what can go in household garbage, what goes in the dumpster, and do that. So that's probably my next mission. I paid my lawyer for the thing. I have some money still on cards. I'll have to call a dumpster place and find out how much they charge for a dumpster, and we'll do that. But yeah, that's still getting wet back there, unfortunately. It's pretty dry up there. But yeah. So we'll keep doing work on this. Oh, there's a kitty. Hi. That's a stray kitty. What you doing up there? It's a pretty kitty. Looks just like Z, only that's a male. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, hello. It's dry up there, isn't it? Yeah. It's dry up there, isn't it? It's dry up there. Yeah, you get dry shelter now. But keep my weed whacker dry. I gotta get all this junk out of here. But we'll get a small dumpster if I can afford it this month and get some of the stuff out of here. And then we'll work on organizing it, getting stuff around. And then maybe in June I can afford to rent the other lift and get up there, unless we'll see. We'll have to see. But progress. So let's get into the May update. We have some barn footage that we've already shown from late April and early May. Now let's get into some of the things that I bought in May. Now, I didn't buy very much this month. I wanted to buy more, of course, but I couldn't really. I kept myself controlled. I bought some stuff off of eBay, but nothing too much. The biggest purchase I made, I'll show later, but I got a couple things off of eBay. One was $15, the other one was $24. One of them is this BN 4750 hopper. Actually, this is a 4740 hopper. That will become a Finger Lakes Northern salt hopper. I'm buying up BN hoppers just like I have these down here. Those are the 451 series. And this is a 456 series. But these are going to be turned into Finger Lakes Northern salt hoppers. And then we have this 434-325. This is another 4740 covered hopper that will be turned into a FLN salt hopper. And see, it has the cross there and the BNSF here. I'll probably take off both of these lines and the BNSF and replace those with FLN. Replace the letters with FLN. While these, I just need to take off that B and replace that with an FL. Now, locomotives, I did get 2 locomotives this month. This one was from eBay, and this one, it will not stay these colors. This matches another locomotive you see in the background there, right there. This is an HLCX SD40-2 I got for $95 on eBay. The shell's a little loose. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. If the screw's not tightened or something. But be taking that off anyway and installing DCC and sound in it. But this will eventually be repainted into Finger Lakes Northern locomotive. The number it would be right now with the roster I have set up for it would be like 3043. Would be like the 44th 3,000 horsepower locomotive the Finger Lakes Northern owns. However, what I'm going to be doing, I have a whole bunch of locomotives planned for it, and what I'll be doing is getting locomotives, and then once the Finger Lakes Northern is built, once the barn is done and the Finger Lakes Northern is built, then I will be going along and running trains and seeing how many locomotives it actually needs, and then I'll number them, and then I'll figure out, then I'll trim down the list to match what it's needed for the railroad to logistically operate, and then we'll have that, and we'll probably have a smaller roster. So very few locomotives will actually get repainted for Finger Lakes Northern until the layout is built and fully operational. The other locomotive I got is not for the freelance at all. I'm sure there are many people who would absolutely hurt me if I repainted this Finger Lakes Northern. I know a lot of people on Paul Stamp's Discord server would absolutely have a conniption if I repainted this locomotive into any paint scheme. Yes, I have a Bowser RS3M. Number 505. Sister to what's now in the Arcade Attica. The one that's in the Arcade Attica is 506. I plan on getting that one eventually, but this one Train World only had one left of, so it's like I got to get that, not run a chance on them not having gotten extras, because sometimes they do get extras, but the other ones that they had that they actually showed out of stock, which is usually when they don't have any extras. Usually when they have extras, it just disappears off, and then it reappears when they have more. But this one, these ones they actually showed out of stock when they had no more left. So I don't think they ordered a lot of extra of these. So I did get one. I'll hopefully get 2, and then the rest of them I'll have to probably get off of eBay, because these people have been waiting for a very long time, so it's going to be very hard for me to get another one of these. Now, I did get some other stuff. They were from Dan's Crafts and things. When I took my Part 107 test, after I took it, I was in Pittsburgh, which is not that far from Dan's. It's like 5-10 minute drive. Drove to Dan's, and I did get some stuff, and we'll see that in the next clip I do. But as for the Part 107, I already posted a community post. There is going to be a new series coming to the channel, and this is going to be it's a revamp of an old series I had, Real Railroads. When I made that series, I actually wanted to do it where I was with a drone and recording a video from the ground and from a drone and talking about different things. But I didn't have a drone at the time. I couldn't afford to get one. Now they have a drone, and now that I passed my FFA Part 107 test, I'm currently waiting for the temporary certificate to be sent to me, and then I have a digital copy of that and use that for the weeks it'll take for them to send me the physical copy. But until then, I can't really post very much drone footage on my channel, even though I'm not monetized, because this content is specifically to boost my channel, to educate people, and will hopefully be growing my channel and probably getting monetized eventually, probably pretty soon after that content starts going up. So, because it's going to be very similar to what DJ's Trains does, only it's for this area, because he can't cover everywhere. So it's going to be a nice companion to what he does. And the first video on that is going to be on Silver Springs, the trackage here. You'll see the tracks that you've seen me film trains on. You see it from the air. You'll see how it works, the names of the different tracks, and how the interchange happens, how it's happened in the past, and various things. That's the first video that you're going to see on this channel of the new Real Railroad series. So look forward to that, and look forward to when I come back up here and with the other things I got, which is some more coal hoppers. And here we are. Here's the rest of the stuff I got. These were $25 a piece. You can tell that one of them was in the sun, but in fact, the only part that wasn't in the sun was the bottom of the box and the front of the box, which is still green. Everything else is turned blue. But these are from Dan's Crafts and Things in Irondequoit, New York. And these are Buffalo, Rochester, and Pittsburgh coal hoppers. These are built September 1906. Type D coupler, K2 tipple. 1,670 cubic foot. So these are for the layout when it's running, BRMP era. But for now, since I haven't split up the eras yet for it, they're just going to be rotated on and off as needed. I do need to get back into doing operations videos, but I just haven't yet. As you can see, I have this map here still from a videos I'm doing for some reaction channels, teaching them about New York, and those are almost done. I got one of those done. I just got to edit it, and I had to get a new editing software because I've been using PowerDirector for a long time now. But now every single time, and in fact I even paid for the premium, so it removed the PowerDirector name from it. But now every time I go to edit a video in PowerDirector, it comes up decoder error, use lower resolution video. When I'm using 1080p 30 FPS video, the same as I've always been using the entire time, and it just refuses to edit it. It will come up with that error, then I have to back out of the app and then restart it and then go back to working on it. And the next thing I do is something, it says decoder error, and I have to restart it again. It takes me 50 tries just to edit one video now. So now I'm switched to CapCut. Hopefully that'll work. That'll work for a while, and it'll work for a while, and then it'll stop working like everything always does. But moving on once we get this content done, which I have one more video for that to do, then we'll be back into operations videos, and I have another thing to do. I have talked previously that I probably going to leave the NMRA. I might renew my membership this year, but that's just to give myself a little bit more time. I don't see myself continuing ahead with NMRA membership, and there's some reasons why. Some of which is it has to do with my mom, but it's not just my mom, it's also the NMRA itself. So that's it for this video. I'll get into that later when I talk about my experiences in the model railroading community. And yeah, that's it for this video. So from CP Silver Springs, milepost 368, then folks on the Southern Tier Line, keep on loading trains. Tim out.